Let's go R&B. I'll say favorite R&B group, Jodeci. We rock with Jodeci on that. I got 2 babies off of Jodeci.
No more.
We in the clouds, baby. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy OG Fabio back here with the new In the Clouds podcast on a beautiful Christmas morning. Yes, it is finally Christmas. Well, I don't know. It's Christmas Eve, but if you're Mexican, you call it Christmas. And tomorrow is pretty much hangover day. But here we are with a new podcast. If you are wondering where the hell I am with this Christmas tree that looks like it got AIDS, this is the new setup, guys. I know it doesn't look like much, but I do have the official setup in there. And for the next podcast, I'm going to show you guys a little around and we'll get into it. But today we have a very, very special podcast with 3 guests. Yes, I know this doesn't happen a lot, but we were able to make it happen. We've been talking about it for a while. Very, very thankful for LJ, Msterlewis, and I'm gonna just call him Coach. I don't know his official. I don't want to say his government, even though I said it in the podcast. But I'm gonna call him Coach because I feel like that's like the most respectful thing to call him. We had a very dope conversation. We were only able to get about 30 minutes of 2 angles. After a while, that does cut off, and then it's just my phone recording. And it's a misfortune, but hey, it's whatever. We keep rolling. And I still think it came out really dope. We talked about some really, really cool stuff. Very motivational, inspirational, all that good stuff. If you're on YouTube, which you probably are because that's the only thing I upload this on, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. But most importantly, please share the podcast with, on your Instagram, to a friend, to a coworker, to that lunch lady that's kind of ugly, but you still will kind of smash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just anybody that you see, just share the podcast, please. And let's get straight to it. Thank you, guys. And we're live. Okay.
Live.
Thank you guys so much for being here, guys.
Hey, peace and blessings.
I only expected LJ at first, but it's good to have more people and kind of, expand the horizon.
Definitely.
How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. I'm feeling blessed, black, and highly favored, for sure.
I'm good. How you feeling?
Pretty good, just waking up, still getting into the mood, getting into the podcast mood. So we'll just go down the line, just introduce yourself, what you do, what businesses you have and all that.
Absolutely, most definitely. So I go by LJ Hippy. I'm an artist that's based out of the Central Valley, Fresno, Cali is to be specific. They call that the armpit of California, but it's the smack dab center of California. Yeah. But I've been in Sacramento since 2011. From Fresno, though, I went to schools. I went to Madison Elementary, LCAT Middle School, and graduated from Central High School. Okay. So for those that know, so Fresno is bigger than Sacramento, but it's considered like the biggest little city, Right. But
there's a lot of open land, right?
A lot of open land. There's orchards. It's known for agriculture, It's like the number 1 capital, for it in a sense. But anyways, I've been in Fresno since I was 8 months old. I was born in Visalia, so that's Tulare County, but it's like 45 minutes from Fresno. So I did grow up in Fresno, but I got accepted to Sacramento State. I graduated high school in 2011 and moved out here in 2011. Okay. So the journey started there. I was 17 when I graduated. I was scared, but I knew that this was a better opportunity than the Valley,
Did you have any family out here? Or you just
out here? That's a good question. So I do have a big brother, Andre Williams. Man, shout out to Big Bro. He's the reason that influenced me to come to Sacramento, Fresno is an environment where it's big, but you can get sucked into it, Like a lot of people don't really just go travel and explore. But I used to come to Sacramento a lot well before I moved out here. And I graduated and got accepted to Sac State. That was the only college I applied to, too. But I got accepted, and that's what started the journey.
Yeah, I signed up for Sac State, too. I didn't get accepted. I wasn't too good of a student. And then let's go down the line.
So, yes, I'm Msterlewis, born and raised Sacramento. Been out here my whole life. I moved to Oakland for a little bit to play basketball in Hayward. But, yeah, I've mostly been out here my whole life.
Yeah. I used to stay right there by San Leandro.
Okay.
Like down the street.
Yeah, Oakland is home for me too. You know, that's where I was doing a lot of dancing with people. You know, I used to turf dance out there with all the homies. Man, it was lovely. You know,
Yes, yeah. I was born in Oakland, actually.
Okay.
I was born in Oakland, right there on East 15th. I kind of grew up there.
Definitely
around that area.
Yep. So yeah, man, I just been out here pushing the movement, the positivity, the empowerment. You know, with my brothers here, my sisters here, the fam here. Yep, just keeping it going.
Can you tell us a little about what God mode is? Because I mean, as you guys can see, LJ has the hoodie on.
Definitely. Like my brother said, what is God mode?
So what God mode means to me, it means to operate in a supreme circumstance, you know? It's not a mysterious thing. Like, you know, having knowledge of self is most important, but it's to really know who you are and live that out to the truest extent.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. So it's a lifestyle, you know what I mean, of just empowering yourself, empowering your family, doing better for yourself, you know, in every aspect of your life, from your health to your finances to how you thinking to everything, you know what I mean? Just doing your best, you know. That's God mode.
Okay. Yeah, we're for sure gonna go back to that. Yes, last but not least, Matt.
Coach, we got Coach.
Different names by different aliases. But
Man, well, we're gonna start off, man. The government name is Matt. You know, Matt Moore. I've been out here in California all my life. You know, I was in the military, so I had left. You know, after high school. I left for probably about 7 or 8 years or so like that, you know, lived down in Atlanta. I traveled a lot in the military. I got out after Desert Storm in 92. So, yeah, you know, I was a athlete, played football, basketball, baseball, ran track, you know, did a little bit of everything. Yeah. You know, I always had my hands in something. So,
stayed active.
Always stayed active. That was me. And, you know, wandered off into the military, man, got to see the world, man. The world is a big place.
Yeah,
and if I recommend everybody see the world. If you can travel, go travel, man. Right. Yeah. You know, because, you know, you will get a different perspective of life, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, just all in a nutshell, you know, and I base that on, you know, what Pacific Sunrise is to me. You know, Pacific Sunrise is, you know, sun's rising to elevate. You see what I'm saying? And I met Mr. Lewis, you know, we partnered up and we teaming up, you know, elevating into God mode. Yeah. You know, and our podcast is going to be called 4th Generation of Kings. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So words play off of everything and it all lines up. You know, I didn't line this up. It just fell into place.
How did you two connect?
Oh man, this our story crazy. It's crazy, man. I coached at the high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
I coached baseball.
Yeah,
you know, he graduated the same year my older son graduated.
So you didn't play baseball?
No,
he didn't play. He played basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my older son didn't play basketball. My younger son did. So you know, to make a long story short, you know, me and Mr. Lewis here, you know, we should have known each other since 07, 06 or somewhere around in there. Because I mean, my sons pretty much went the same pathway through the same high school, you know, where he was at. But you know, we got into the music thing, and you know, Keys and Cam. He shot a video for a couple of artists that I work with, Keys and Cam. And I was like, man, I want to meet Mr. Lewis. So you know how y'all generate. Well, you know how y'all generate all nonchalant, man. They just pass it around. I never got to meet Mr. Lewis. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, man, 10 years later, you know, Jalal Festival, bam. He's at the Jalal Festival. I got my Pacific Sunrise thing up. You know, I had the music going. He came over there, did a freestyle. Bam. I met Mr. Lewis.
Right.
So 10 years you knew him 10 years before, but had no connection with him at all.
I had no connection with him at all.
Other than through the people
that
he was coaching. Yeah.
I mean, we know the same people.
Right. Yeah. So
I ain't never met Mr. Lewis.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's, you know, because this probably would have happened a long time ago, but, you know, it wasn't his time. You see what I'm saying? Everybody had to go through what they had to go through in order to get to where we at.
Yeah.
Type of deal. So.
And what were you doing after high school once you got out of high school?
Shoot, I was hooping. I was playing basketball. I went to Sac City and tried out. I went to ARC and tried out. And then after that, I went to Contra Costa and tried out. And then I went to Chabot College. I was just moving around, Yep. So I was dancing. I was playing basketball. Yeah.
Okay. So those were your two paths that you kind of seen?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Basketball and dancing was my thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what, did you just stop pursuing, or did you find something else, or do you still trying to hoop and
Yeah. I still hoop on Sundays, not anymore. I just took off this last season, but I kind of just stopped playing basketball. When I was in Hayward, I realized that school wasn't my thing. I was not dedicated to the schoolwork at all. I was falling behind. I had my first child too here in Sacramento, so I ended up just coming back to Sac. Was still doing my dancing thing, but when I was in Oakland though, my cousin who I was with, he did music, so I started doing music there. Writing stuff down, and then that just started my journey for doing music, and I kind of fell back from just playing basketball, really pursuing it on a serious hype. Okay, I'm finna do something with this.
Yeah. So all of you do music?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys all rap? You're all artists?
Man, I can get down a little bit. Everybody try to, my nephews and all, they try to, get me to, sing some hooks. I mean, I can sing. I come from a family of singers,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I come from a musical family, so. My brother, he can blow. My younger sister, she can blow too.
Yeah.
So I mean, my dad, he gets down too.
Yeah. So it runs in the family.
So it pretty much run in the family, man. Right. So, I just want to see, I love working with the youth, man, and that's been my thing, and I think a lot of times, man, we get in these walks, man, and we get set in our own lives and just think about, our circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's bigger than that.
Right? Yeah,
sometimes you gotta, if everybody sat down and just worried about their circle, wouldn't nothing be getting done outside of that.
Exactly. That's such a big part of this industry. Me and LJ were just talking about it, making connections. Finding just new people that maybe is not your demographic, but it's still, it's our community. It's all around us. So it's
all around us.
If you just seclude yourself into one circle, there's no way of growth, right? Because you're just staying the same.
Exactly.
That's facts.
And so when did for all of you guys, when did you fall in love with the music, and when knew that okay, this is the path that I want to take?
Absolutely right. So I've always been involved with music as far as people around me, and just I'm a 90s baby, so just coming up hearing it, as soon as I wake up, my dad, shout out to Johnny Williams, shout out to JW3, but he would play that soulful music, I would wake up and he'd be vibing and dancing, so it was just, I became influenced by it. But me on my, I started doing music about 6 years ago, but I just started taking it serious about the past 2 to 3 years, honestly. But and really that just came from still it always being around me, but me just seeing the opportunity, I would be supportive of everybody around me, but then at times where, I just see an opportunity where somebody might, like my first video shoot, for example, somebody else was supposed to shoot a video, they didn't show up, but I just had little doodles written down, and I was like, what, I can shoot one, let's do it,
Yeah.
And I just started it, and that was about 6 years ago, and I was in the North Sacramento, off of Greenhome Drive, so shout out to the Foothill Farms area, but they do call it they call it North Highlands, but that was the start of my journey then. But it was wild though, I was homeless at the time, but it's not no victim story. I was making decisions where I had to deal with my karma, but I definitely thought to put my story out there, in the form of music, and figure out a way to still have some value,
Yeah, well, that's almost beautiful to say, because it's you didn't use that as an excuse to to just kind of go down that path. You said, I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to turn it around on, you know, not just everybody, but myself. For sure. I'm going to prove myself wrong.
Absolutely, yep. I take accountability for making my mistakes, and that's where I think it's helping me to still learn, you know. I do see it as a selfish thing, but I thought to start a kid, you know, to have a child, to start a family, even though I wasn't in a position, you know, I didn't have the resources, but that type of thinking where I was, you know, like my future is not really certain. I want to leave something behind, you know. But now that I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, that was kind of selfish to say that because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the resources, but I'm still blessed, you know, because babies are blessings. And now that I know the, you know, I have 2 other children, you know, shout out to Adea, Elena, and Cynthia, you know, and Mom Paige. But that let me know, like, this is my why now, you know, like these kids didn't ask to be here, and I'm responsible for this. So this is what I signed up for. You know?
Right.
Yeah. That's And you said you were like really down at that time, and it's crazy how life hits you with that curveball. Just comes at you. Now you got to deal with that whole like it's a whole nother life. It's a whole nother person.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
And that's why I gravitated towards Mr. Lewis. You know, being down. You know, I don't feel like no victim. You know, because I was making decisions where I'm like, my karma's going to eat me up for this. But I wanted to gravitate, you know, towards the right energy. You know, the people that did know me knew I was positive, knew I had good intentions, but I just probably wasn't around the right people, you know? So just from being in the environment, people that know Mr. Lewis, you know, you can't compare him to nobody, but just for the sake of conversation, shout out to Good Company and to the whole LaRussell movement, you know? But Mr. Lewis is the LaRussell of Sacramento, you know? What LaRussell is to Vallejo is what Mr. Lewis is to Sacramento. But,
that's love. I appreciate you.
Sure, that's right.
I like that. I like that. I didn't even think about it like that, but that is true though.
Yeah,
because nobody out here moving like that.
I haven't listened too much of LaRussell, but I have heard a lot about his influence and how he's raising these underground artists to kind of go out more into the you know, into this industry pretty much, not take that natural, or not the natural, but the you know, the system, to go through the system, go through the industry that, I mean, has messed up so many people.
Right.
You know?
The one thing I do love that LaRussell's doing, you know, he's showing you the blueprint and explaining too, like, really, you just got to be consistent, you know? And he's 35 projects in, you know? And it's like, that's a lot, you know? So just him planting that seed and giving the game is enough to know, you know, he's doing something that not a lot of people are doing. So, you know.
Definitely.
But,
yeah, I think everything with time, it's like everyone had their time where they kept consistent. Like, it kind of reminds me of Burner when he first came out. He had his own movement where he was bringing up people. He was featuring people on his albums that maybe weren't even the biggest names that he could have got way bigger people, but he wanted to put them on and put them onto, you know, a bigger platform.
Definitely. Yeah, Burner did have a cool run too of just what he was doing with the tree and everything. It was like, it was a big movement around what he was doing with cookies and stuff like that. Yeah, because
it was really when like weed was really blowing up as well. It was kind of like that. He hit that sweet spot where he kind of caught that wave. Definitely. Everybody was, you know, weed was getting legalized everywhere. And so now it's more people and stuff.
Right. He branded himself too, to where when you see that C, you know, like that cookies, that became something where it wasn't about paying a lot of money for a little bit of product. It was the value that was around that brand, you know. A lot of the artists started rapping about it, you know, and even then it became known as like rapper weed in a way.
Yeah.
So it's part of the culture. You know?
Right.
That's what's crazy, that it's like you see cookies and some people don't even know what Burner or who Burner is.
True, right.
They'll see cookies and they'll just think, oh, the sweaters. There's all the sweaters.
Right.
But there's a whole brand behind it, you know?
Right. Facts. Yep. I'm learning more about branding as far as like even with the whole God mode thing. Ever since I started putting out music, I would wear God mode in some of the music videos from as far as 4 years back or so. But my vision was to literally like, I got to promote, you know, like even if it's your friend who's got a clothing line, you know, that's still designer, you know? Like, why not support the person who's your neighbor, you know, who's got an idea?
Exactly.
And that's, you know, I love my people, but I will say I'm learning on my journey. Like one of the greatest threats to black businesses is our people, as far as not seeing the value in that, you know. But I'm saying that to say I started to gravitate towards it because I would see people wearing the brand and I would see the love, you know. Hey man, that's God mode. Hey man, Mr. Lewis, man, that's my guy. That's a good, you know. And I'm like, that energy, you can't fake that.
You can't
so,
fake
you know, yep.
It's either in you. It got to be in you, not on you. It got to be in you.
When were you printing your first hoodies and like first merch?
I would say, dang, it was about 8 years ago. It was Higher Vibes. It was the name of one of my projects that I had put out. And I had went to this other dude to get the prints, and then I had a heat press that I bought, so I would just be coming home and pressing them myself, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My friend had he had like where you put the paint on it and you spread it. I'm not sure what they're called.
Screen print.
The screen print, exactly. Yeah, he was doing that for a long while.
Right.
But those heat presses, I bet, are like way easier, or not easier, but you know, they're less time consuming.
Definitely.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, both of them effective though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you get some the ink kind of go hard too, because you got the different kind of ink. You got the glowing dark ink, so you know, as long as you get that silk screen and you hit it right, man.
yeah. I mean, I always.
Nice.
You always got to work with what you got, you know.
Right.
Work with what you got until you got something, and then you upgrade after that.
Right. They fastest hella sufficient so for like outside. So you doing a show outside, boom, you got the screen, spin them, lay it down, lay it up, dry it out, boom.
Fresh shirt.
Yeah, right there on the spot. Oh, which one you want? Number 6? Okay.
Yeah, it's people will buy these like crazy things just because it has a different brand on it. If it or a different logo on it or a tag, you switch the tag with something else, and they're like, "What the hell is that?"
Right.
Like it'll be a $10,000 shirt, and it'll just be a regular like button up or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all because of that designer, which
Right.
I mean, that's what they made. That's kind of what everyone's goal is as a brand. But at the same time, it's like they're not catering, but they're not even thinking about the people that are contributing to that business.
Definitely. And that's what my whole brand was about. You know, even starting music from the jump for me was to do something positive, something that was different than what I was hearing, because I was feeling like, nah, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not listening to nothing that I feel that I can really relate to, you know, and I didn't want to be a gangster rapper, and I didn't want to be a Christian rapper, you know what I mean? But I was into God a lot, you know, Jesus at the time. So it was like a lot of my music and my content was geared to that. Like every song I'm talking about God, you know what I mean? And my story. And, you know, when I heard this rapper named Dizzy Wright, you ever heard of Dizzy Wright?
I've heard the name for sure.
Definitely.
I've probably heard a few songs, but I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah, when I heard his music and how his music was like, you know, about him and what he's going through and his people, it gave me a direction of like, okay, I can start talking like this in my music, you know. So yeah, he definitely gave me a direction, and I actually got him on my newest project, so it's like one of my bucket lists.
Hell, you see someone you looked up to, someone you took inspiration from, you were able to get them on your own stuff.
Yep.
That's really inspirational.
Definitely.
Well, who are some of your guys' inspirations when it comes artistically or musically?
Great question. So, E40, you know, shout out to the Sick With It whole campaign and family, you know, D-Shot as well, you know. But E40, I really consider him like the Jay-Z of the West Coast, you know. For people that don't know, he's cornering now the kitchen, you know, like he's got a lot of products that just transitioned from the whole music, but, you know, he's taken over the whole wine industry and having, you know, the whole ice creams plus the burritos and all that. But as far as music, I've studied his trend where, you know, he came into the business with money, but, you know, he used to go to college campuses and just to start, you know, he was out the trunk with it. He marketed his brand, but he had a family unit, you know, the whole clique, you know, he had his sister, you know, Sugar T, you know, and now he's still got a family campaign, but I learned from that to where I can say he's one of the major influences for sure, you know.
Definitely. Yeah.
But,
for me, I would say Andre 3000 was my favorite artist and inspiration for this, and Erykah Badu too. You know, I mean, it's changed now. Oh, Dizzy Wright, you know, La Russell, Master P. You know, him being a great entrepreneur and just how he does things too definitely has inspired me along the way for surely.
He was out of Oakland, wasn't he?
Master P.
Yeah, Master P.
I'm not too sure, to be honest with. No, he's from.
I'm thinking someone else.
I think he's from another state. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was you going to say?
Louisiana.
I believe so. He might be from. Yeah.
But he came to the Bay Area though. He got his, he used to be up under E40's uncle, Sir Charles, and he got the game from him.
Okay.
And he opened up a shop in the Bay Area. But Master P, it's a small world though. He's really responsible. He's another one of the influences. He showed people the independent route.
Right.
And he knowed how he took the independent game to another level. But he's from the South, but he came to the Bay Area, and he's a pioneer in what we still are powdering his trend in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh me, man, I'm a 70s baby, man. So I go way back, man. I'm a real to real. Back to real days. So a lot of my inspiration come from back in Motown days. Temptations. I'll say Michael Jackson, man. Michael Jackson, one of the greatest, man. Prince,
during that
man.
time,
Oh man, they neck and neck. Rick James, because I was big into funk, man.
Yeah.
I was.
Jimi Hendrix.
Love funk. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was cool.
A little earlier, maybe.
As far as bands, Cameo.
Cameo.
Yeah, Cameo,
Never heard of
greatest all time band for me. Let's go R&B. I'll say favorite R&B group, Jodeci. We rock with Jodeci on that. I got 2 babies off of Jodeci. Right. And Jodeci was dangerous back in the day, bro. And then rap, Andre, Outkast. That's my favorite rap group.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But as far as overall, man, I would have to go with Pac, man, because
Definitely.
yeah, definitely, man, Pac, because Pac wasn't just a rapper, man. He was so diverse, man. He was something people gravitated to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had that power. He had that will to draw people, man, and it was almost like he was like a prophet almost.
Yeah.
When it comes to the rap music, everybody know his family background. So like I said, man, it was in him.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't on him. It was in him. You know, just his whole story. It was in him, man. And I see that, man, and how much he was, with community and he talked about, current events but he still, kept it real. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of artists today, we got sidetracked to where we just talk about one portion of the culture. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't wake up in the morning with your kids. You ain't banging on breakfast. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happened to all the family picnics, the functions?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And man, everybody grew up in church. Music come from church. You know what I'm saying? So we stem from a lot. We fall far away from a lot of these things, man. We have to gravitate back to respecting our elders. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, man, this generation, man, they feel their elders don't have no worth.
Yeah.
And that's throwing away your generational wealth. Because knowledge is wealth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna move forward if you don't even know where you came from?
Yeah. Exactly.
You gotta know your past. And in our past, man, we have a broken up past. So when you have a broken up past, who are these people learning from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like we have to start from the lowest common denominator, man, and that is problem solving skills. Problem solving skills.
Yeah.
Because who's teaching problem solving skills?
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis is.
If the homes is broken up, you got kids raising kids. You got the streets raising kids.
Yeah.
It takes both parents to work, right?
Nowadays, you got phones raising kids. You got
Facts, right.
a lot of people, and it's
instant gratification right
Yeah.
there in your hand. So that's what we live in amongst, instant gratification.
Yeah, that instant hit where you get the same feeling that you get from doing something productive, doing something. You just get it from a 5-second video. You don't got to do something productive that day. You just oh, I'm entertained by these little videos. Right. So now that's your whole life.
Right. Shoot, man, I used to be at my dad's, at Bank of America processing loans, and you look at a video, man, they make you feel like, man, I ain't doing something right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So because you see it, you see what I'm saying? You see it, and it's like, bam.
And then
you would just think that they're just living a life, but nah, they just on vacation shooting a video.
Exactly.
It just seem like it's
right.
You see what I'm saying?
It's an image they portray that.
Yeah, it's
a false image.
It's a false image.
And somebody's got to expose those images.
Yeah.
But as far as
truth,
right, and that's why it definitely comes back to rebuilding the culture. Once I knew that that's what Msterlewis was doing, I gravitated towards that because I definitely want to make sure that I'm aligning myself with what's righteous. And even seeing the merge, God mode, that's positive in the outright, even if people don't have a clear understanding of what that is, But truthfully, so I started coming into some knowledge about like the 5% nation and all that. I thought Msterlewis was a 5%er because I knew he definitely had knowledge himself. But he's one of the first people that greeted me as a god. And that really did something. I'm like, he called me a god. And he's known for that.
Yeah.
Was good with the God,
Right.
And that type of empowerment that makes you wonder, like, man, that energy, I don't know if you've been called that before, but that really makes you, like gravitate towards just gaining the sense of understanding. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Educate me or something. Like the way you kind of glowing and stuff too. Like how you living for reals,
Yeah.
But
sometimes like a word or just an interaction, you feel a certain way about it. Where it's like, how do I never met this person, but I feel like I've known them already?
Absolutely.
Or like I'm connected in some way. It's because we're all living the same struggles, just in different ways, different paths, but we all got the same kind of thoughts and the same doubts on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I did want to touch on the instant gratification thing real quick. It's like I feel like people being so tuned into the instant gratification that like it's taking people out of having patience for things, having patience for going through something and getting it. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants it now. And if it's not now, if it's not happening the way that you want it to happen, then now you in your feelings and now you feeling a certain type of way because that's what we're doing all on social media. We're seeing things, we're feeling a certain type of way about it, and we feeling like he said, like, dang, I wanna be living like that. Oh, I wanna why I ain't getting flued out? Why I ain't got, why my people ain't tapped in? You know what I mean? So it's just like all of that, watching all the time, comparison is taking away our dedication and patience for success or family. You know what I mean? We don't got no patience for each other now. It's one little thing you do and it's just we tripping. You know what I mean? Or yeah.
No, for sure. It's this false image that they portray that if you don't it's like you see something and you think, oh, that person got that right away. That person posted a reel, they blew up, and now they're rich or they got money or they're getting opportunities. But you don't see those fucking thousands of videos before that they put out and they're getting 2-3 views. Mm-hmm. But that one that maybe they didn't even like. I feel like I don't know if you guys feel the same, but sometimes I'll release something that it doesn't feel like I don't feel as confident as about it, but everyone's seeming to react to it more or they like it more.
Definitely.
I promise you that happens to me all the time. Like in my last projects, the song that I liked the least, everybody was like, that was their favorite one. I promise you. Like, I'm like, what? Like that one?
Mm-hmm. That song wasn't Family Jewels, was it?
Nah.
Okay.
But you like that one?
That's one of my favorites. Yeah, Family Jewels. And even in that video, people might overlook. That's when I seen you cutting and tutting, and you had your family wearing a brand where it's like you showing improving right there.
Right.
So like,
you want to know if you got a hit, man? If little kids get up and dance to it, bro.
Fast.
Yeah. That's nowadays.
That mean you own something, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And if they disapprove of it, then it's probably not it.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it's certainly a process to it. Like, it sounds corny, but slow and steady wins the race.
Facts.
You keep going. It's like that person that burns themselves out in the first 1 week or whatever, and you're doing it consistently for a year. even if it's 1 hour a day compared to their 10 hours a day for 2 weeks or whatever, it's still gonna add up way more than that.
Right. That's like, what's life without the journey, though?
Exactly. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Your journey is gonna make you who you are. You know, so that's why you have different obstacles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're younger, you don't handle those obstacles the same as if you was in your 40s.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You handle it differently. Because I know when I was 18, teenagers, in my early 20s, man, I think I'd run through that garage door, man. Full speed. You couldn't tell me nothing. Could nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man. Life is just one continuous cycle, bro. It goes down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Like he say, in God mode. You know, everybody know it's only one God. Well, you know, you ain't got to get religious. You know, that's a self journey.
Yeah.
You know, and if you in God mode, everything should line up. It shouldn't be no hate. It should be love.
I do want to speak on that for a second, because on my journey, of course, life is life for all of us. But like being even in the background at times with Mr. Lewis, like this project, because we're speaking of projects, you know, waste no time. I do want to shout it out.
Right.
I'm growing attached to that project because I'm behind the scenes holding lights and helping to shoot videos for other content, but then showing up to help capture content and give second opinions and feedback on it, to where seeing him put this project together, I'm knowing, like, me on my journey, man, if we could duplicate this, because he's not just an artist, he's behind the camera, you know, like he's got the vision, he's, you know, like very calculated, but he's really not wasting no time, and he's just telling his story through the music as well, but playing multiple parts. So me on my journey, that's why I'm like, oh man, I found some leadership to follow, or I at least found something to duplicate as far as to just get some inspiration from and find how it works for me, you know.
Yeah. But
But that's where it's like, you know, it's not that he doesn't get enough credit. It's not that he doesn't get enough credit, but it's like he's like the best kept secret, in a sense where it's safe to say that if there is a Sacramento scene, Mr. Lewis had pioneered it, or he's laid the blueprint out, you know, for what it means to be a street performer or to push merch like consistently every day. I've never seen him wear anybody else's brand. I've seen him only wear God mode every day. Right. So with that, that's why I'm like, if I'm, you know, I don't have no problem following under leadership. If you're younger than me, whatever, you know, if you can lead me, I'm going to follow, you know, and if you can influence me to do right or give me something to add on to what I already got going and I can get ahead, I'm going to tie in some kind of way.
exactly.
And that's love right there. And we were just talking about that yesterday too.
Yeah, we was.
We was talking about that as far as leadership, you know, and that's why for me it's humbling when people, you know, can say that type of things, because it's like, this man got his own family he leading.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? And it's like, men, in a sense, sometimes, you know, we feel like we shouldn't be following after a man. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be following after the next man. We should be doing our own thing, and we should be having it taken care of, and we should be doing it. You know what I mean? But for us to be able to fall up under each other's leadership, you know, when it's necessary and when each other is leading, is a big thing for me, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people out there who can't do it, you know, and you see it because it's like they kind of are hesitant to, you know, just speaking about it, you know what I mean? Speaking about somebody who's really leading and pushing, whether it's men or women, you know what I mean? It's just like, we see it, you know what I mean?
I think it's pride though too. I think some people, and it's not that I'm just an alien to stuff, but even coming from where I come from, being rooted in Fresno, it's dysfunctional, it's toxic, and a lot of people they more so have a sense of humor and won't take it serious. You know, if they see you doing something too, they'll more be like, you know, well, it's not me, you know, like, or you'll be doing something so positive, you might really make them question why they're not adding value. But anyways, I'm starting to realize that sometimes, even though people see you doing the right thing, knowing that it doesn't cost anything to be kind or add on to it, you know. Bootsy did say one time too, like, some people are hypnotized with hatred, but in a sense, it don't got to be that severe, but it does kind of, I'm learning, it makes people sometimes question, like, oh, okay, he's really leading by example, you know. I'm not going to give him permission to lead me, but at the same time, I'm going to disapprove of it because, you know, I'm just, it's too challenging. Like, you're making me question. You're like, you're doing all the right stuff, so I'm not really on that, but I'm going to just knock it because, you know, it's not what I'm on and I'm resistant to change.
Yeah. that challenge, like you said, that challenge. It's like that's how people be feeling towards me. I feel like I'm challenging you to think, or I'm challenging what you're doing, and it's like I am in a positive way. Yeah. I'm challenging you to do better. You know what I mean? To think better, to live better, and it's like I'm up for that same challenge. Let's do it together. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm willing to do it with you. Like if you want to go on a fast, let's do it. You know what I mean? If you want to go out here and get in front of somebody and make something happen for your business, let's do it. If you want to shoot a video or make whatever it is, on every level, I'm willing to do it with you, for real.
Yeah. Oh, we might have to flip that. Not just do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. There's a famous saying going in the leadership space. They say the difference between a leader and a boss is the boss says go, the leader says let's go.
Right.
So
Man, but I mean, I want to share a moment, with kind of cemented, Msterlewis to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing this. I've been, working with various artists throughout the community for the past 10 years. And I came over to his house, and he got his kids, he's a stand-up guy. He moves with intent, and he's taking care of his responsibilities. I came in, and we was rushing that day. We ever since I've been met him, we be moving. So,
busy and productive. That's what you need. You don't want some people around that. So you're not doing that.
Yeah, I came over. It was semi late. It was time to feed his family. Man, I came in, man, and he was like, "Man, you hungry?" I was like, "Man," I said, "I could get something to eat." He was like, "Man," he said, "I got 2 slices of pizza left." And I was like, "Oh man." He was like, "Nah." He said, "Go ahead, man. My family, we already ate. We good." And for somebody his age, that's my son's age, for him to have that much of accountability and being responsible as a young black man, that's powerful. And I support that.
Definitely.
And since then, and I see how he moves. Like I said, it has to be in you, not on you. Yeah. It's in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's in him. It's not a stranger in the room when he walks in. Mm-hmm. It's in him. Yep. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, this journey that I've been on the last 10 years, you know what I'm saying? It lines straight up, and it lined right back to where it should have been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's almost like you knew him your whole time.
Exactly.
At the same time, you guys are living the same experiences, but just a whole different way.
Right. Yeah.
So, but just for the record, for those of us that don't know, like when you're in God mode, what is the message that you want people, what is the message that you want to resonate for people about the brand? Just so because some of us, it might not be as positive as it is. It might still trigger some negative, for what they might not understand. So you could just clear the air.
Can I say something to that? Because when I first seen, I think I seen it. I don't know if I seen it on Instagram or if I seen it the first time when I went to see you guys perform.
Most definitely.
And at first I thought it was like a religious thing, and it felt kind of religious because you hear God, you kind of just think God mode, so you think God. But when listening to LJ and a little bit of what Msterlewis is saying, it's more of a self-growth. It's more of you're taking accountability of what's in your life and striving for the best version of yourself. Yes. It might not be some grand artist, or it might not be some multi-million president, but just being the best version of yourself. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm.
You nailed it on the head. And really, more important, just gaining knowledge of self is really what it's about. It's not a mystery, It's
Not only that, health too. Health too, because man, he done made me some some food, man. I'm like, man, what's this?
No meat? What?
No meat? What? Oh man, I had some what was that? What was some tacos you made? What was those tacos?
Vegan, of course.
Those vegan tacos you made. With
the walnuts. Yeah. I'm finna make some of those today.
Man, hit me with the walnut tacos. I was like, first when he said it, I was like, Yeah. So I made some walnut taco. I was like, ooh, well, that ought to be interesting. So I was all for it. But when I tasted, I was like, oh my God, man, what is this?
Yeah.
Don't taste like
Yeah,
one.
yeah. But yeah, as you were saying, Mr. Lewis, to get back to LJ's question, what does it mean to do that?
And it exactly what you were saying. You know what I mean? It's not about a specific religion. It don't matter what religion you're a part of. You can be in God mode if you a Christian, if you Islam, you know, Buddhist, whatever. You know, I'm not subscribed to any specific religion or against any specific religion. It's all positive to me. If it's positive and it's going to move you forward in a productive way for your family, for your health, for your finances, for your skills in life, to be a natural being, you know, independently, self-sufficiently, it's God mode. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's about. You know, that's what I push, rebuilding the culture, you know, building up our health, you know, staying as healthy as possible as we can, just doing things healthier. You ain't got to be, you know, what they say, perfect. You know, I don't like saying that, but, you know, you don't have to do things, you know, to the T every single second, military, just, you know what I mean? It's like, but, you know, if you know you can do better, it's like, I know I can eat something healthier than that, then do that. You know what I mean? You know, if you can try a little harder with what you're doing, then do that, you know? And so, you know, I'm always pushing skills, being self-sufficient, learning how to build the things that are our necessities in our life that we need. It's like we should be able to take care of those things for ourselves, just like the animals do. You know, the animals know how to feed themselves, you know, shelter themselves. And if we claim to be supreme over the animals, then we should be doing these things. And the reasons why we can't is because we have been tricked out of it. You know, we've been tricked to be dependent on the next person to do these things for us. But an animal can do it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's one thing that I'm for, skills, learning how to build, learning how to grow food, learning how to fix cars, transportation, you know, health within ourselves, you know, learning how to be healthy and learning how to heal ourselves, you know, mentally and not be victims to just everything that happened in our lives and blaming ourselves for everything, knowing that, you know, okay, this is not my fault. This is them. You know what I mean? These people are evil and they're trying to corrupt my mindset with it. You know what I mean? And it's like not being accountable at the same time, though, knowing what part you have played in the things that are going on in your life and just, you know, just thinking. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just don't be thinking. It's just you want people to feel sorry for you all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like we're not doing that.
It's not you're, like you said, just taking accountability and moving forward with it. Like recognizing what you've done, what you've gone through, but not letting it bring you back.
Right.
And that's something, I mean, I'm a little bit younger, you know, I'm 22. I'm still figuring myself out as a person. So to know that people are going through the same struggles, going through that, you know, self-doubt, that you know, self-sabotage almost sometimes. Right. Sometimes you'll stop yourself from doing something, even though you know that it's going to be better for you, you'd rather just bring it back and be like, you know what, I'm going to just be comfortable. You know, you're not going to, you don't want to go through that uncomfortableness to grow.
I even seen in one of your videos, you was like, you was talking about how like your brain will be trying to tell you opposite, like your brain will try to slow you down, like, you know, and you got to basically over your own thinking be like, nah, I'm not finna be weak, I'm not finna back down, I'm going to strive to do better. You know what I mean? I heard you saying that in one of your videos.
Yeah, for sure. I've talked a lot about that, like where it's your own thoughts that are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself. It's you get those, you know, people that are outside that will say something, but it's really all just down to you. It's the only person that's gonna stop that is you. It's you, definitely. You know, and the hardest thing about life is that even though you think you'll be good, like you'll be doing good for a while, some person will come out, say some crazy stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, why is life hitting me with this right now? Right. But it's all part of it. It's just, you know, to keep you grounded almost.
That part.
Pretty much.
That's heavy. Some people do mistake me for being your age, you know, 22, and I'm not 20 nothing, but you know, but I'm still on my journey to where I wouldn't say like I'm I can say I still do feel like I have that inner kid in me where, I'm still excited about life, because there's so much that we have to experience, and me bringing life into the world. That's where I now know my purpose. I'm not confused, but I'm ready to get to it and stay productive, and even at this level, or just or just reaching a real level in life or in business, I do know you still got to lean on leadership, like we don't have all the answers. So that's where it's like, even with Pacific Sunrise, or, even being around our elders, or just calling on the ancestors, that's something that Mr. Lewis is big on, to where I know I'm grounded in the right type of energy, I know I'm in the right direction, and that's just where it's at from there,
If you guys could give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be? That would, from now to, like, let's say you just out of high school.
Learn a skill that you can be self-sufficient with, and a necessity that's always going to be needed in life.
Okay.
Definitely. And be healthy, for surely. You know what I mean? Be healthy. We got to be healthy, because I feel like the habit of being healthy is going to take you a long way, in every aspect of your life, from problem solving to, just family. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a habit of doing something the healthy way, then it's like you'll end up in a better route for yourself,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Just to piggyback off the habits, that's the one thing I would say to my younger self, is to I would have taken initiative to destroy bad habits and build on the good habits, and just let those, because I'm a firm believer that, first you form habits and then the habits form you. So if I would have done this a lot sooner, it's always that saying, had I known what I know now, I'd be ahead. But I would have just built on the good habits a lot sooner and stuck with them,
For sure.
If I had one thing to change, I would say, have a little more time for your elders. And, I call it the 2-to-1, the 2-2-1, God gave you 2 eyes. He gave you 2 ears, 1 mouth. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna hop on that one. That one gonna go off before the other 2. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts.
It should be the other way around, because if you listen and you watch and observe, you're gonna know everything you need to know before you open your mouth.
Facts.
But we kind of, we live that, a little backwards. So, but we learn that, man, through our elders. And a lot of times, if you don't have an elder, if you have a mentor, gravitate to that mentor. Yeah. If it's a coach, gravitate to that coach. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, we leave those people behind, man. I call them hood heroes. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Those guys never get talked about.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Those hard working guys that do that 9 to 5, that, you know what I'm saying, that go up to the high school games with the kids, that know the kids, that, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are the ones that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ones that do stick around, the ones that do care, because we take a bad rap, man. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say, man.
No, for sure. I think that, like, sometimes we see these, like, careers, and we see these different paths, like more modern times, where it's like, oh, I can't learn something from this person, but there's something to learn from whoever you talk to.
Whoever.
Everybody.
Even if they didn't live, out of, a crazy life, if they lived enough years, they have something to say. They have at least a little bit of information that, you could go off of, or at least, learn from.
Right. Oh, it's all kind of lessons out there, man. You always gonna learn something to the day you up under this ground, man, and you no longer breathing air. You gonna learn something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, homeless person. I'll give you a short example. I was at a point in my life, where I had just lost it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally just lost it, and I was thinking to myself of something that happened in the house, man. I'm going to rushing the store. I'm on one. I'm on, I'm hot. Mm-hmm. And a homeless guy came up to me and told me, you don't need to worry about that.
Just randomly?
Just randomly, bro. Like,
Randomly. Damn.
yeah.
No, for sure.
What was that?
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, for sure. I know exactly what you mean. Those small signs that you'll be at your lowest
Right.
and some little peak of like sunshine, some peak of
Right.
little brightness comes in and you're like, oh, okay, maybe
So, yeah.
maybe nothing
So,
is not as
you know,
bad.
right. So I mean, we can't let this world consume us till we get ourselves in a point to where we're not, you know, humble enough to, you know, see blessings. You know what I'm saying? That was a sign, bro. I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Definitely.
I could have been like, man, get away from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no change. You know what I'm saying?
Right up.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you have an open mind, an open heart to the outside stuff, you're not in a shell. You're not trying to defend
Right.
everything. You're taking everything in and you're like, okay, I could appreciate this.
Right.
And something that when I heard it, it was like kind of life changing to me. It was like our ego is our biggest demise,
Right. It is.
because that's what causes any problems with anybody. It's just
Right.
someone hurt your ego, you hurt their ego, and now there's a problem with it when it's,
Right.
you know.
I do want to speak on that for a second because that's heavy. You know, the ego is the biggest demise, and I'm learning as an artist. I've accepted the fact like you have to have an ego as an artist, but it doesn't have to be inflated. You know, it doesn't have to be super big to where you can't accept the constructive criticism, or you at least, you know, or you just start forgetting that you're on your journey of developing. You know,
For sure.
but I'm learning that like as an artist. First and foremost, I do music. I did music as therapy for one, you know, because a lot of people around me were doing it. But I have a speech impediment. But you know, I'm not no victim. But I just seen an opportunity and made a song and got some good feedback from it. And it started to become easier because when I would hear a beat, I wouldn't stutter. You know, I wouldn't stammer. But with that though, anyways, I'm saying like just with that in music, you know, it's good to just be aware. You know, it's definitely good to know like, hey, you know, this it's different. You know,
Yeah.
it's different.
There is a
The ego is the biggest demise. I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
there is a like just people who think that they have to be, you know, not to say it, but like they have to be hard all the time.
That part.
They have to be all, you know, tough, and you know, someone says one little thing and it's, I mean, no, I struggle with it myself. You know, we all struggle with it, where it's like, you know, sometimes you overthink something, like, oh, someone said something and you're like, oh, did he mean it this way or did he mean it that way? But in the whole time, it's all in your head. It's all just going through your head, and it's all, you know. I think one of the biggest downfalls for a lot of people is just self doubt. That's something that I struggle with tremendously, because it's you're overthinking your own thoughts that are paralyzing you from moving forward. You get into your head too much.
Right.
Definitely.
I think one of the bigger problems is mental health. And a lot of times when people say mental health, they immediately like, man, I ain't crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
When you say mental health, I mean mental health though, you know, me and you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mental health, because we have all went through life. And when life get to life and we go through all kind of different tragedies, all kind of different losses, you know, we go through all these things and we never, you know, seek any counseling or seek any help about it. You know, sometimes we got to educate ourselves on that stuff. You know, because I fell a victim to it. When I tapped into it, you know, I was like, oh man, and I've been a law-abiding citizen. I've been a good father. I've been I'm a grandfather now. Yeah. You know, man, ain't nothing wrong with me mentally. But when I tapped in to the class and I seen all kind of different ways to say stuff and the different approach, because like today's generation of younger kids, because they live in a whole different world. They're not, you know what I'm saying? So they're more, you know, you can't just talk to them any kind of way. They gonna shut down.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
me being, I have to learn a different approach. So me taking that class, when she broke it down, and she was like, well, how would you discipline this child if she did this? the way I disciplined, they was like, okay, yeah, see now that could be aggressive. I was like, I'm not even an aggressive person.
Yeah.
But how she broke it down,
Right.
I was like, wow, I never
Yeah.
even thought about saying it like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you see what I'm saying? That was a humbling experience for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what fourth generation of kings can do, because we bridging gaps. That's the whole point, is to bridge gaps. So if we bridge those gaps, you know, our grandfathers could know about our younger generation and how to, you know what I'm saying, coexist. It wouldn't be no gaps.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah, it's a big lack of communication between
it is.
different generations.
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge, man. Because I mean, because our generation was more outside. He was active outside,
Yeah.
fighting. Shoot, we didn't come in till the street lights came on. But now,
Yeah.
man, you want to put a kid on punishment, tell him to go outside.
Yeah.
Everything they need is inside.
Right.
Yeah, it's always it's just evolution is constantly evolving into different stuff, different society, different times. You know, we see kids nowadays, you know, as soon as they get out of the freaking womb, they got a tablet in their hand, got an iPhone. It's like, you know, it could be used for, you know, for good, but most of the time it's not really supervised. And then especially like once you get into school, I mean, there's really nothing your parents can do to stop you from reaching those outside, you know, sources, you know, all those social media, because it's like, no, I just download the app and now I have access to all of this.
Right.
That part.
With your friends who
Yeah.
That's why we homeschool. You know,
Definitely.
don't even send them there.
Yep. And I definitely I homeschool my children, by the way, but I got inspired because I knew that Mr. Lewis was homeschooling his, and he has or how many kids do you have now total, just for the record?
For the record, I got 8 children now. Well, I have 5 of my own.
Lord.
I have a stepson, you know, and 3 others as well. So yeah, you know, that I claim that I feel like I see as children that I'm, you know, directly affecting.
Absolutely.
You know, who have it could be like I said, my girl's nephew, you know,
Okay.
that I see as a direct
Absolutely.
effect of what I'm doing, who looks up to me. So yes, I would say
That's powerful, man. That's
8.
powerful.
You know,
Hey, so with that,
if my counting is right now, I might have to count. Hold on.
See, but look, just with that, him having 8 children, but knowing that he homeschools his, you know, he has to be doing something that's working and that's sustainable. I have 3 daughters, you know, but I'm learning that like it all boils down to the influence, you know.
Yeah.
So how you say like technology is the number one influence, it's our number one distraction. But when we mention the thing about leadership, that often gets overlooked, you know, because being in a leadership space, we loosely throw that word around, but really if it boiled down to one simple word, it's just influence, you know. So being able to have that good influence, you know, or to just influence our youth to do the right thing even when no one's looking, then that's a step in the right direction, even if they got it firsthand or through a technical device, you know.
Right.
But just to spin back on the ego, you were going, and Fabian had made a comment about ego being the biggest downfall or just a demise. But even if it's not as an artist, you know, how do you feel about an ego or just what that can do?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like it is destroying our togetherness, you know, how we're working together, you know, how we're communicating with each other, you know, and yeah, just the networking amongst ourselves. So I feel like the ego is definitely something that we got to check within ourselves, you know, within our own heads of whatever the circumstance may be, you know, and figuring out why are we thinking that way, you know what I mean? Like, why are we feeling, I feel like ego is like a selfish thing at the same time, you know, or even when you feel like you can't learn or listen for any reason, you know, but yeah.
Would you say it's safe to say that as an artist, you have to have an ego?
What do you mean?
Like, well, of course we have to, but like the problem with it being our downfall is that it gets too inflated, you know, where it gets too big. But as an artist, you know, as artists, sometimes you get to embody, and most times you get to body it like a character, you know, and be who you want to be. But as far as like, do you feel like as an artist, you have to have an ego to where even with the nature of hip hop, we have that competitive nature where it's like, you know, I'm really, you know, I'm this. And it's that, and like I'm this.
Yeah, but I don't see that as ego. You know, I feel like being confident in yourself is not having ego. I feel like the ego is negative. It's a negative thing. You know, like I was saying, as far as like you got an ego to like you can't be told nothing or you can't work with people. You know what I mean? You can't. You can't like.
I think it could be. I think I agree that it's negative. I think it's mostly negative, but it also can drive us to, you know, to be better. You know, you look at someone, you're like, you know what, I think I could do just as good, right? You know, it doesn't exactly have to be a demise, but when you let it start controlling it, when you start getting jealous, you know, it starts building jealousy, that's when it starts becoming negative. It's almost like a poison.
Yeah,
and I just think that's influence, though.
Yeah, you just got to know you got to know how to compartmentalize things. Mm-hmm. Like when you talking about ego, you in character, you talking about rapping. Mm-hmm. But in life, do you have a life ego?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's heavy. Yeah.
So you know you gotta know how to compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize. You know, that's heavy, right?
That's heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean that's, you know, or you can say in layman terms, you know, stay in your lane.
Mm-hmm. That part.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a lane for everything. You know.
Right.
Sure. So, you know, it's nothing wrong with having an ego. So when I'm on that basketball court, I'm the best on this court. Can't nobody tell. When I'm on this mic, I'm the best on this mic. Even if I ain't. I mean, some people think they the best, but I'm like, okay, you the best at whatever you thinking. I mean,
but confidence would.
But confidence, but a lot, So I'd rather have somebody that have that much of confidence and be trash, but he's confident.
Yeah,
at least he's confident. But serious.
For sure.
But I mean, he's not depressed. Mm-hmm. He could be depressed, right? Like, man, I can't rap. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
for sure. That's heavy. To bring back the mental health, when we were talking about that, I was talking with my friends the other day, and it's weird how we work out, you know, our body. We work out our body and everything, and we work it out so that it could be a certain condition, and you know, help us survive and all that.
Right.
But we never work out our mind. You know, we constantly we're like stressing our mind. We're working it all the time, but we're not giving it time for, you know, the stuff that we need to do or the stuff that we actually want to do.
Major. That's where music comes in for me, because again, I started out doing it as therapy. You know, I do overthink. But again, I'm out of that mindset of having labels or, you know, being considered whatever, you know. Like, I do believe we have all mental health, but it's like we don't got to be diagnosed, nothing, you know. But feeding our focus is going to help us, you know. But me overthinking, the one thing I'm learning is one thing how our coach just said, you know, we do got two ears, you know, and 2 eyes, and, you know, 1 mouth for a reason, you know. Right. But just on that note, where it's like, hey, just soak it in, you know, for one, and just, you know, just take advantage of a good opportunity and just be grateful, you know, just be grateful for that. So,
did you guys all, when you guys were younger, did you surround yourself around the people like not progressive, but, you know, people that were striving for that, or did you need to learn how to get into that setting?
You want to go first, or you want?
Well, I've always, you know, I've always been a leader. You know, I got that from my dad. You know, whereas I had both of my parents in my life. Yeah. So, you know, and, you know, my dad was a very inspiring man. So I have, you know, big shoes to fill. So, generally, you know, that's what make you whole, when you get both perspectives. You see, and just coming out, just working with the youth, and just holding that position, really, you know, it means so. Damn, I done got thrown off topic. What was it?
Yeah.
I don't know
I spaced out too earlier.
Because I mean, we in the same thing. I didn't want to get off of the
influence,
question.
being around healthy people, like not healthy people.
Circle. Nah, being a leader, controlling your circles.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I first started out, you know, I was working construction. Mm-hmm. So naturally, I hung around guys that, you know, drink, that, you know, do that type of work. And then later on, when I, you know, educated myself, I moved on to working in the bank. Mm-hmm. Different circle.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm hanging around with guys, you know, speaking on business.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know? So, you know, you just have to control your circles. Don't let your circles control you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if I'm over here and I see I got all my partners in the hood that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna control me. If it's 10 of them cats out here doing this, I'm not gonna be the 11th one.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I can move and go to this circle, and I control my own circles. I don't let them control me.
Okay. So you still be around the circles.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But the persons that they don't create who you are and doesn't affect your mojo.
They don't affect who I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you know, you have to be a intentional person. You have to know who you are. You have to look in that mirror every day and try to, hey, I'm gonna do something right today.
Yeah.
You gotta like that person who you see in the mirror, because a lot of time that's who we fight against.
Yeah.
That person that we see in the mirror.
Facts. Yeah. For me, I did have fun as a kid, but I would say, like, coming up in Fresno, it's a dysfunctional environment. So I was shown what not to do. You know, I wasn't around the right type of influence, but I did see, you know, people, even if they're doing the wrong thing, like, they were successful at it. You know, so but again, I don't want to put, you know, my environment in a bad light, but, you know, it's like, it's considered the land of dysfunctional. You know, like, when it comes to just whatever, like anything that's considered a crime or criminal, you know, it goes on. As far as, like, you see it, like, just as regular, you know, but not adapting to it, you know, to where it's like, that's where I knew that there had to be something else, you know, like, I'm like, dang, you know, I do see how a lot of people get stuck in a dysfunctional environment because we're a product of that environment. But that's when I started to elevate, was when I left, you know. I accepted that my ideas and my dreams were too big for the city, in the sense that, you know, as positive as I am and want to be, it's not accepted here, you know? So it's like, I got to go where I'm celebrated and not tolerated, or at least I'm just welcomed, you know? And that's where it's heavy, because, you know, I love where I come. I had a fun childhood, but I know that where I come from needs so much help as far as the energy that we're putting out there now, you know? Sure. And even though being shown what not to do, I still looked at that as learning. Like, I was influenced to still kind of float, you know, just how Matt said, you know, I floated. I didn't hang around the gangbangers. I had Mexican friends. If their families went to the fields, I went with them. Like, I picked grapes with, you know, my friends. I had Asian, the Asians, I shout out to that community, because, you know, they're very reserved and they stick to their own, you know. I had an Asian buddy who, his parents didn't, you know, the elders like to stay to themselves, you know, the elders love staying to themselves and working with themselves, which I respected that, as far as, like, they had that cohesiveness, you know.
Yeah. Were they Hmong?
Yep,
Hmong,
yep.
yeah.
Fresno has a huge Hmong community as well. But with that, though, yeah, I just adapted. Like, one of my friends in high school, he was an Indian dude. He taught me a lot about culture and what we didn't know, you know, what we did lack. But just coming out here to Sacramento, for example, is what helped me to take advantage of being in the right environment, you know. This is considered the land of opportunity. You know, the valley is going through reconstruction and, like, a gentrification phase. So it's definitely a beautiful, you know, there's definitely still some life and love there. But me coming up, it was just, you know, it wasn't good. But yeah, the question he was asking too was, like, were you around the right influences, or, like, what type of influences were you around? The circles. Yeah.
I feel like I was a leader in all my circles. You know, I had a bunch of circles. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the great connector, to be honest with you. Like, I had like 4 or 5 different circles that I was a part of that I would kind of, like, be in and out of.
So you've been popular all the time. You just been
definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely was something that was that's not new to me, but at the same time, I feel like I was influenced to do negative things, you know. But it was always outside of the circles that I hang out with.
Makes sense. Right?
So it's like I kind of brought that to the people that I was around. And I kind of felt like, you know, that was kind of like my biggest karma at the end of the day, you know. Some of the things that I've done and I influence people to do that I've been around, it's like, dang, I influenced some people to do some negative things, you know? And that's another reason why I'm big on doing what I'm doing right now, you know? And I feel like I got to lead this because I was leading things that wasn't good, that wasn't productive, and I was just kind of doing stuff, you know? And it's crazy because I'm going to tell this story. So this one time I was with my homie, we was walking, we was dancing, and then I had ran into my cousin, and he was like, "Hey man, I just got done robbing this house." And we was like, "For reals?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's still open. You want to go to it?" And we was just like, "All right." And we just went. we just went.
No thought about it.
We just went back to the house. You know what I mean? We went back into the house and was just all through it and stuff like that, and ended up leaving. And then it was just something that I just kept doing. You know what I mean? And it's like I brought that around certain people. And that followed me for a long time, bro. Like I promise you, like my cars was getting stolen just randomly, just over and over. Just stuff was just happening that I felt like
karma was eating you up.
Yeah, like it needed to happen, and it's like, yeah. So I definitely have been the leader in my circles and been around a bunch of people, and the people that, but the main people that I was around, they were all positive people though, for surely.
That's
they
what's
were.
up. Yeah, I'm learning too to be patient and like even if you're positive too, you know, not everybody's going to accept your leadership. You know, not everybody wants to hear the messages that come from you. So the one thing that I'm working on, for those that don't know, I do got a big mouth. I like to talk, you know, but the things I'm speaking on does have substance, you know, and I'm planting the right seeds. So, but
Right.
I got to know too, like, you know, don't give people information that they're not asking, and be mindful of, you know, educating enemies at that. And just knowing, you know, like, hey, you know, leadership is influence, but you can only influence the ones that give you permission.
Definitely.
So, you know, I'm learning.
Facts.
How does your music affect like your mood? Like, do you think that when you're in a good mood, you know, when you're going good in life, your music is better, or do you think it's? Because for me, I do stand up a little bit. I do stand up. I try to go up as much as possible, and sometimes it feels like I have my best moments when I'm going through the most shit in life. Like when I'm not going through I'm not going through nothing. I just feel like, oh, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what I'm saying. But when I have that emotion in me, when I have like almost like a pain to it, it comes out with more of a emphasis or something. You know.
Definitely.
What do you guys think? Do you think that it's life influences your art?
100%.
Definitely.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it does. For me, I feel like, when I do have those moments of pain and problems in my life, I do feel like I do go to the music to let it out, and I love it. And even when I'm not, you know, I'm just goal oriented to where I'm moving, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what I focus in on. Like, if I'm not going through nothing, it's like, it's what I'm doing. It's like where I'm headed, where I know I'm headed, you know? So that's kind of like how I...
You see the bigger picture. You don't look at the small, what's happening. I mean, you focus on what's going on at the moment, but you focus on the actual bigger picture, what's going to come after that.
Yeah, I've been doing that, you know, since I started, you know. That's why I'm still going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, music definitely do it for me, man. You know, shout out to my brother Blowzog, the architect. Man, that brother got me through some rough nights, man. Some of them nights, man, where life hit you, man. Hey, bro, what you doing, man? Hey, pull up. I'll come over there, man. He'll just boom. He'll get on there, man, and just start playing beats, and I just start listening to music, man.
Yeah.
And then it just relieves you. It take all that tension, man. It just take you to places, man.
Yeah.
And then you start hearing the old school beats, so you just start taking your mind off of, those bad thoughts she was thinking. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we all got to have those outlets.
Yeah.
So yeah, music definitely does that for me, man.
Yeah, I think that's something that music does so well. It transports you to a place where even if, I mean, it's for anything that's art. You watch a good movie, you watch a cool YouTube video. You're not thinking about all these problems that are going on. Yeah. You're just focusing on that one thing. Right. That's kind of what inspired me to start doing content. It wasn't more to like reach a lot of people. It was just to know that some people, after a stressful day at work, after a stressful weekend, you just went through Christmas and stuff, you could listen to a video and be like, okay, someone's going through the same stuff, and a quick laugh or a quick, it feels like a conversation, like you're talking to someone.
Yeah. So for me, I tell my life story through the music. So it's like I get the chills when I listen to my music still. Yeah. I'm new on my journey, so like I've always been around music, but I'm just now getting to take it serious, Yeah. But for me, that's where I'm still like LJ, for people that do know me as my artist name, that's no different than who I am, Yeah. But that's where I still have to at least, let it be known, as I'm telling my story, you're gonna keep going through things as far as, life is gonna life. But I'm realizing the more I experience things, yes, when I'm going through things that may not be so positive, I take the good, the bad, and the ugly, but you can feel it in the music,
Yeah.
And there's just, it's about that feeling, Mm-hmm. Music has a lot to do with feeling. You can feel when people, so you can resonate with people and you can tell if they're really going through something. Mm-hmm. So just with that, like, I'm on my journey, but I'm saying like, me telling my life story through the music is humbling me, because I'm like, wow, I really get the chills. It's something called imposter syndrome, where, you sometimes have to pinch yourself and you're like, wait, is that me? Am I really, man, shoot, Msterlewis and Matt Moore got me really in the middle of the street of Broadway and 16th like I'm really out here. These people got their cameras out,
Yeah.
Right. But it's humbling to where I'm saying like, this is my life now. And I'm just from seeing how Msterlewis wears the God Mode merch, I'm really like, I feel supreme when I'm wearing it. Yeah. And it's not to be on no like, like I do have my own thing as well, but it's like, this is the example. This is something that we can resonate with. And if you're really living like that, you'll be able to operate in that supreme circumstance too.
Live in that mode.
Definitely.
But yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to ramble a little bit, but it's the
that's
music
what
is
the
everything.
Podcast is for. When you guys are on a podcast, you ramble all you want. If it's the last thought in your head,
we ramble so much that when you get off topic, you be like, hold on, what were we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You gotta come back.
A whole lot of thoughts running through your head.
I struggle so much. Sometimes I'll do these like podcasts by myself. And I'll be going on to this whole rant, and then I'll be like, "Wait, what was the question?" And I'll be like, what was my favorite fast food?" And it's like I'm over here talking about the drug company, fucking pills,
right? Facts. I be telling my people like, you could cut me off, like don't feel offended, like stop me because I need help sometimes. Like I get to going, and if you don't cut me off, like, it's your problem now. Yeah. Right. Like help me.
LJ.
Yeah, for sure. But overall though, just back to the project, the waste no time thing, like when it comes to the music and how we're living, like I'm doing this on a day-to-day basis now. I don't work a regular job, but I'm seeing how Msterlewis is putting his story out there, and with this project, waste no time. For those that may not know, can you share a little bit of insight as far as how many records or just some of the...
Yeah. So we got 8 records. It's dropping December 14th, y'all.
December 14th.
We got a show that we have just locked in with Drippoline in downtown Sacramento. So
wait, so you said December 14th? That's Saturday.
This Saturday.
That's Saturday. Okay, so this podcast will be out Monday. So it will already be out, so you guys can check that out.
Definitely.
We'll have that ready for Monday.
Definitely.
Yep. So 8 tracks. I feel like this is my best project that I put out. I got some of the homies on there with me. Say Less is on there.
Shout out.
Swift Bands is on there.
Peace and bless.
Dizzy Wright, Shantae is on there. So, and then shout out to Bass Beats too, for making these beats. He's from Fresno.
Shout out, small world.
He's been getting it in.
He produced the whole thing.
He produced the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't help me take what I'm doing to the next level. Even Matt, Matthew Ballin, he produced my last projects, and he helped me take things to the next level too with my sound. And he actually mixed this project as well. So yes, we going up with this for
Going
sure.
up.
All the way.
So yeah, the show is December 14th. Everybody's gonna be there. My brother's gonna be there performing.
Sure.
You know, we're gonna have some more people performing. Say Less is gonna be there. Jazzy's gonna be there. Work Ethic ENT and Lil
Shout
Nuke is
out.
gonna be there. So yeah, we in the building.
Definitely.
In there.
Oh, even though $1 million is not on that project, are we performing?
Definitely.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. Definitely. Good.
Man, you got anything to promote? Anything to
Oh, no,
shout
yeah.
out?
Well, yeah, Pacific Sunrise gonna be in the house, like I said,
Definitely.
man. Hey,
Right.
man. Hey, he got me in God mode, man. Hey, man, I support him, like I said, man. Hey, I've been on this little street journey with him, man. He got me out here too, man. You know, I'm not inside no more. You know,
Yeah.
I try to make my presence seen a little more. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know that just seeing elderly people out there sometimes just pushing, because sometimes can be an encouragement to the younger movement. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
for sure.
And like I said, I got some other guys, that's out there that's behind me, that's going to support what I'm doing. So when you see Pacific Sunrise, you see, my generation and my group of people that's behind me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like, this affects everybody. You know what I'm saying? This can prevent a lot of stuff from falling on people's doorsteps.
Yeah.
Just the whole change in culture. You see what I'm saying?
sure.
So this is not just a us thing. It should be a whole community thing. It should be a everybody thing. It's not a race thing. It's an all nationality thing. Because at the end of the day, we really don't cross those culture barriers. You know what I'm saying? Because race wars is, Asians shooting Asians, black people shooting black people, Mexicans killing Mexicans, and so forth and so forth. That's what it is.
That's what
You see what I'm
that's what
saying?
the country wants.
So it applies to everybody. But unfortunately, our culture is the one that suffers from it the worst.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are the ones that lacking the education, lacking the group economics, and see this is a good opportunity right here, and what Pacific Sunrise is going to pretty much stand for is, we'll be that example of group economics and what it looks like to make it out here and be the first people to come up out of Sacramento to do it like this,
Yeah.
positively.
To bring it
See
back
what
to
I'm
you
saying?
saying, you traveling, you said bring different perceptions, different angles to see different ideas that you might not exactly agree with, but you could still learn from it, and you could still, thrive in that same environment.
Right, for sure. Because at the end of the day, man, we all trying to get to the same place. We all have the same values. We all bleed the same. We all gonna go back to the earth, unless you know something I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Well, they're supposedly like,
what I'm saying?
who knows in the future, and get neural chip and stuff.
Hey, we only get one life. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. 100 years from now, man, ain't nobody gonna be here. We ain't even gonna. So we only get
I'm
one.
gonna be alive.
He's gonna be alive.
You see what I'm saying?
We're gonna be here forever.
We ain't gonna be of this form. You know what I'm saying? This vessel gonna be so good.
Right.
But so we might as well make the best of it, man.
Got to. Just to piggyback off of the brands, because he mentioned to shout out the brand. For rebuilding the culture, when it comes to job schools and trades, that's one thing that is not too much talked about. But when we're not on the stage performing, we do offer these. So I want to give a shout out to one of our affiliates, and he's one of my business partners. So Dignified Marketing is a marketing firm where we do offer an opportunity for youngsters. You don't got to be young, but you could be a young entrepreneur in the making, but somebody who just wants to make weekly income, and still grow and develop. It is a sales position, but for people that do have their income options, open, then we don't just provide training, but we give people an opportunity to not just have a job, but they can learn skills and, still just scale that way. But when it comes to rebuilding the culture, that's what I wanted to make note, that we offer jobs, we don't just have product as far as just with music, but we've got opportunities, and we want people to know that, So that's definitely something as far as what I take pride in as far as how we're rebuilding the culture. We're coming to add value. We're planting seeds in our music, you know. We're dropping jewels in our music, but we're literally coming to rebuild the culture by showing and proving, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah. My brother put me on, you know what I mean? I done made some money with my brother, you know? And that's the best thing. Like, and I feel like that's what we're doing with the movement. It's like, it's for those who want to be for it and in it. You know, we want to show people how to do what we're doing, and we want to get involved with people who are doing something positive. So it's like, we don't have no gate up to people being like, nah, we ain't messing with them over there. Cause you know, it's like we open to those who are open to working, moving, and thinking how we are thinking. You know, I mean, you ain't got to think exactly how we thinking, but you know, you got to have an open mind to the possibilities, all the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that are out there to make something happen and not be trapped in a mindset of just problems. Just all you got is problems, and that's all you know, and you don't want to figure it out, and you just want to just be stuck there. You know, it's like, nah, we don't want you around. Don't come around. You know. So if you are open to just learning how to do the podcast, learning how to work the camera, learning how to put your own clothing together, learning how to, you know, do the music. If you want a job, growing food, skills, whatever it is, we can help you with that. You know, we got all types of resources, all types of mentors for everything that people could be out there doing.
And we want partners, you know. Shout out to Lorenzo Roger, you know, but we want partners for sure.
Right.
So let's just keep it dignified. The choice is simple. The choice is yours.
All right. I think that's going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me, just having a conversation.
Thank you for your guidance. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Any last words you guys got? Little shout out, anything?
Shout out to the Curtail family. You know, we are a community that we're developing, but we starting out as a company that's united righteously through expressing loyalty to families, assemblies, and nations that love youth.
Definitely.
Peace and blessings.
I want to give a shout out to my brothers here with me, for surely. Definitely.
Shout out to Matt Moore. Shout out to Pacific Sunrise and the whole campaign.
Say less. Shout out to my brother Say Left. Everybody who's been supporting us, rocking with us, you know, donating to what we doing, whether it's your time, whether it's your money, whether it's anything, you know, we appreciate y'all for real. So
and shout out to you, Fabian, for sure, man. Most
definitely.
Yeah, Fabian, I shout out to you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Good
to see young men moving in the direction that you guys are moving, man, and in a positive direction, because that's rare. You know what I'm saying? So we need to gravitate to that. So this is a great thing. Let's keep it going. Just new beginnings, man.
Yeah,
new beginnings, man. So let's keep this push.
Make sure y'all add me, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all that good stuff. M_STERLEWIS.
And make sure y'all pop out this weekend.
This will be out after. Make sure y'all stream Waste No Time.
Waste No Time.
It's going to be out.
That's right. I forgot to come out Monday.
That's right. Waste no time.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. As always, stay in the clouds. See you guys soon.